And yeah, I'm all right. Definitely, I stayed up way too late last night. Drank way too much whiskey. Got a bit of a headache, but we'll survive. I know, right? Like I stayed up way too late. I just kept winning in league, you know? All right, so yeah, these get all in points. I don't think this is accurate. Gripping and chill. Oh, if I could type. Forgot this part. All right, so transactions, that one's there. And then for quotas, we want to do similar. Yep, and that is incorrect. Ooh, looks like we don't have that type made yet. Okay, so we do need to go generate that type. Right. Okay, so I don't have any of the quota responses in here yet. Don't. Okay. I know, right? Uh, yeah, I gotta be careful yawning like that. Shoulder could go out at any moment. All right, so get quota response, get quota adjustment response, get all quota usages response. Cool. And yeah, Super may have been nailing it with those. Yeah, so oh, this part's going to be trickier because we're doing our sort key based upon created at. Yeah, so this part's going to be broken. And this part's definitely broken. Ah, yeah. So the indexes. Where am I defining those indexes? Yep. So I'm going to have to do the same thing. Hold on 1 second. One second. Let me go do one thing. How do I cancel this? Okay, there we go. Yeah, sorry, 1 second. I want to get paid out from Solid Hack, so I accidentally submitted an expense to the wrong thing. How do I do this again? Shit. I forgot how to do this. Ah. Actions, submit expense. There we go. All right, this is important. This is how I get paid for the Solid Hack thing. Okay. All right, cool. Sorry about that. But yeah, I want to get paid. Okay, so I guess I could have looked at. Yeah, I think we're good. Oh, hold on. Let me just go to the expense. No, it's under the right organization. I think we're good. Okay, cool. So, back to what we're doing here. Yeah. No, I messed that up. So it's over in our types here. And it's not payments. Quota usages. Quota adjustments. And then, yep, that part's accurate. Okay, cool. Usages versus usage. Yeah, I'm going to leave it there. Usages just makes sense to me. And really, yeah, these should be balanced transactions too. And balance payments. Right, if I don't change it now, it'll just be tech debt. Okay. And yeah, a bunch of this stuff is going to have to change, but it'll be good for now in there. But yeah, for transactions and payments, I could definitely do a find and replace on this stuff. We'll think about it. What's up, Bob? How you doing? And then, yeah, this is going to have the same problem. It is. Right now we're just working on the API, but it will be a web app. And that question was from YouTube. Cool. There's probably going to be more I want to do there, but it's good for now. All right, so yeah, we're going to grab this boilerplate again. This is for balance payments, though. Oh, but we did just call it payments. I don't know if I want to fix that part yet. Let me get more music going, though. You know what's funny? I'm pretty sure I always play these two albums like one after each other. It's kind of funny to me. Oh, I think it's worth it. Yeah, let's play a different album. Okay. don't know if we've even listened to this album before. What's up, JWF? How you doing? This song is quiet as hell, though. There we go. Ooh, this song's interesting. I like it. Oh, yeah. Looks like the payment was approved. All right, so we got balance payments, the get all endpoint for that. And actually, this is all going to be basically the same, but not quite. Right, like the keys are going to change. Yeah, so those keys are going to change eventually, but I'd say for now we're probably okay leaving that. Because, yeah, I'm going to really just want to. I'm going to want to start building out that UI first, just to make sure I even need these endpoints this way, but getting the boilerplate in there was worth it. And what is my today plan? All right, so the get all endpoints, we need to add the business user endpoints, but I can't forget about account balance and account quota. And we need getters for that. Yes, we need database tables for those. We need a getter for those. We don't actually need anything other than a get endpoint, though. Yeah. Okay. What I want to do first then is commit what we've done so far. Yeah, we'll add those two. Yeah, so fill in boilerplate for get all endpoints. I don't think that's actually all of them. I don't think we're actually done. Close everything. So here in payments, right? We're good there. Yes, we filled in balances payments. I feel like there were some of these endpoints that we didn't actually finish. Like they just had like placeholder fetches. Looks like we're good here in the accounts folder. So it might actually be like the top level endpoints, but no, we fixed those. I think it's the usage. But no, we just. Oh, this is it. Yeah, yeah. So stats here. Right. So it's the stats endpoint. Hmm. Aha, here it is. Yep, it is usage. Okay, so creating a new quota usage. Right, we need the business, the quota, and the account. Uh, oh, and we're not actually checking for an existing quota here. This is the create endpoint. What up, Sandwich? How you doing? And yeah, it's not going to be on the table there. It's table key methods. How dare you sing? Get out of here. Uh, that part got weird. And I don't really need to be spreading it. I could just return it. It goes well, Sandwich. It goes well. We just got some endpoints that we need to fill in. Man, yeah, I think I'm really liking the green tea. I may want to order, like I ordered a bunch more Earl Grey, but yeah, I might just dial it back to green tea. Yeah, I don't know. Oop. Okay, so we got that create endpoint made, and we've got the permission for it. Delete also has the right permission. And we'll leave that one as just HTTP response. All right, so business ID, quota, account, quota usage. Yeah, YouTube chat's usually a little quieter. But yeah, if you guys want to chat, like, yeah, let's chat. Okay. So yeah, there's our delete endpoint. All right, for this getter, okay. Then hold on, let me double check this one. All right, so get all we filled in. I think stats is probably going to be empty. Yep. And then update is currently empty as well. All right, so this is the update endpoint. Oh, and I already realized that, yeah, we need to modify the updated at and or maybe just modified at events when we do our updates. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, we're gonna have just yeah, we got so much more work still to do. I like the progress we're making though. And here's one thing I gotta double check. Render ATL. No, not tickets. Apply to speak. Okay, so I've got till the 16th. And then when is Render Miami? Not Render, React Miami. December 13th. Okay. So yeah, video summaries. All right. So yeah, that's why I don't want to leave this to the last minute. All right. So yeah, let's think about like we don't need to like make the decision now, but we got to start thinking about talks that we think would be good for React Miami. Oh, cool. CJ's going right now. Nice. It's always good to see him streaming again. All right. So, React Miami talk. What do we think? All right, a Get Kraken focus talk could be about migrating from flow to TypeScript. Oop. Nope, nope. Um, I don't know when. We'll just say that, sure. Since blank and is now or and has now migrated to TypeScript. Let's talk about the challenges we faced and how we overcame them. Let's talk about why we migrated, as well as the challenges we faced and how we overcame them. Sure. All right. So yeah, that's at least one talk idea. What else do we think would be a good React Miami talk? Like based on something that we built here on stream. Let's look at what they're looking for talks. So yeah, full stack dev, React 18, React Native, testing, accessibility, performance debugging, AI ML, Web3, UI UX, developer experience, developer tools, front end design, security, developer health, CSS, animation. Yeah, and I can reach out to Get Kraken and see if there's any like React specific things that they would want to have talked about. That would be a good idea. This is one of those ones where I'm not too worried about making it Get Kraken focused because they cover flight and hotel. The ones where I would want to really focus on making it Get Kraken focused is ones where I would have to pay for the hotel, right? Because then at least Get Kraken can cover some or all of it. But okay. Yeah, we don't need to spend too much more time on that. I think this is at least one like decent talk that we could do. I almost want to save this one for SquiggleConf. And hey, what's up, Kevin? How you doing? Dude, I stayed up way too late last night. Like way too late. All right. So, yeah. We'll just leave that for now. And let's get back to what we're working on. All right. So, as far as usage goes, we've got that. We've got our get all. Stats we would want to fill in maybe, but I think we're good for now. And then update we just did. And yeah, that one's good. So yeah, we don't even need this if we're not using it. All right, so adjustments, usage. There you go. At least you're getting some conversation over there on the YouTube. Okay. Okay, so we added those. Yeah, so the next part we want to work on is account quotas and account balances. And that's like a specific user's account quota and account balance. Yeah. So for that, so one thing I think we're going to want to do is we're going to need a getter. And I think that's all we need for it. So we could just put those on here. Yeah, we're going to skip anything with singing. No, thank you. All right, so this is not a create. This is a get. And it's not payments. What does what do? So yeah, that's the endpoint we're going to care about, right? Those will get scaffolded, and then we got to fill in the blanks. But we have not added those tables. It's balance and quota management as a service. Okay, so then here in data, and oh, so business account ID, quota ID. Yep, and then account balances, account quotas. All right, so we got those on the tables. We've got, yeah, and hold on, I'm going to move these down. All right, just reorganize it a bit. But what I'm also thinking is, yeah, account balances are inherently tied to an account first and foremost. So I don't know, maybe group those up. I don't know if it matters. Yeah, we'll just leave it. All right, so we've got those. So that's how we generate the keys. Oh, thanks, Gen Z. No, I appreciate that. Welcome. I think tertiary here actually needs the business ID as well. Right, so the idea here is that we could fetch, if we wanted, all the account balances. I'm not sure we'd ever actually do that. Just in case. Okay, so now that we have the data layer set up, we've got the endpoints ready to be scaffolded. We're going to have only a getter for it, but I am going to want to make like an upsert, like utility function. I think. So the idea behind that would be we don't want to have to go through, like, if someone creates a new balance, within their business, we don't want to have to go through and create an account balance for every user in that moment, right? Instead, if you were to fetch well, I think even a fetch, we could just return 0 if it doesn't exist. But then if you were to create a transaction or a payment for a balance, we would create the account balance if it doesn't exist. So that's where the upsert would come in. And then we'd also do an upsert for like an account quota. For if you were to like try and add an adjustment or add a usage. Yeah, and I keep coming back to the idea that balances and usages are so similar, but they're still not the same. But if we did end up using the same entity, we could just have a flag on it for like if it resets, right? Because that's how quotas would kind of work. So theoretically, you could have a quota for like requests per day, requests per month, whatever. And then, at the end of the month or at the end of the interval, you would want to reset it back to 0. So yeah, we're going to have a bunch more like scheduled events. Uh, yeah, so Gen Z, just imagine you are trying to make your own Vercel. You would need to manage a quota for API requests or something, right? Or like requests to the service or anything, right? Bandwidth, whatever. That's what I'm trying to abstract out. A way to manage those things without you having to build it yourself. I don't know. Like that's the thought at least. And because I'm using AWS Lambda, there's just a whole bunch of like scaling concerns that just work, you know? Yeah. Okay. I'm just thinking out loud. All right. So this is going to go scaffold out some of those endpoints for me. We still got issues there. But that should have created some new endpoints for us. Yep. So yeah, here in this getter, oh, what we haven't done yet is our types. Not those types. So we do have the idea of account balance. Do we have the idea of account usage? Or account quota, I should say. And we do. Okay, so we actually have those. Yeah. So that makes that a little bit easier. We still need to generate the request and response types. And because it's just a getter, we don't have a request type to deal with, but we do have a response type. Nailed it, Super Maven. Good job. All right, so get account balance and then get account quota. All right, so hold on. With an account quota, right, if we think about how quotas are going to have a maximum value, that maximum would be determined based upon the tier of a subscription within some services. How do we let the user modify that? And maybe that's just something we stew on for a bit. So Jacob, the main goal is we want to create a service to abstract out balance and quota management for software as a services. So if you wanted to spin up your own Vercel, how would you manage how many requests per month someone can get on a certain tier? So yeah, really a quota would also have the idea of like a reset interval. Yeah, the reset thing, I'm probably going to want to stew on some more. We can still build out some of the CRUD for these things, though. Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to call this part good for now. Yeah, as we start building this out, yeah, once we start building out the front end, some of these things will make a lot more sense. But yeah, all right. So we got those two getters. I'll think about how we might want to let how we might want to let my customers modify balances. I feel like that's still just like an adjustment or a usage. Hmm. Yeah, something to think about. We've built the front end. The big thing is that we've recently pivoted. So it used to be a like basically just a single balance per business. And now we've pivoted to having the idea of maybe having multiple balances. So consider like League of Legends, where there's the red crystals and the blue crystals and how you use those, right? The way you add to them and deduct from them are just separate marketplaces, but you still have like multiple balances per user, per client, whatever. And then we also created the idea of not just a balance, but then quotas, which would be like the software as a service, like requests per month kind of thing. Yeah. Okay. So let's keep hacking some of this out. Let's go fill in the blanks for these getters at the very least. What up, Doru2? How you doing? No, I hate WoW. I really don't find it fun. It's just too grindy. I could see it being fun, like if you have a group that you do the dungeons at, but to get to the level of all your friends who are already at endgame, like that shit's just such a pain in the ass. Yeah, I have a hard time with any of those like MMO style games where you're always going to have friends that like the game more or have more time to play it. So there's always going to be this like ever increasing gap between you all. And many times like they're not going to want to go back and play early game content to help power level you. So you're just stuck like solo leveling to catch up to them, but you'll never catch up, right? Because there's always power scaling issues even when you get to endgame. Like I don't know, like it gets really annoying to me. I think Diablo has the same problem. I think Path of Exile, like any game where you're leveling to get to endgame, the leveling part is fun once, and then it's just tedium. And even then, it's barely fun, depending on the game. Like WoW. All right, so right, get business, and yeah, what up, Rescoder? We've got a today command. Oh, and I know why that's that way. So number one, PNPM scaffold. Let's try and do this one more time. That should copy a bunch of stuff into place. And that should now allow us to import from the right place, but no, it doesn't. There we go. Oh, hold on. It's like, it's not build, it's not scaffold. There we go. That copied it over. Perfect. Yeah, what's up, JWF? How you doing? I'm going to change the way we do this. Yeah, how do I want to do that? The peppers, those are an extension for VS Code that I built. The one you're currently seeing is JSTS biscuits. No, I want to apply to React Miami. I've heard it's one of the bigger and better React events. I really liked React Summit as well, but that CFP isn't going to be for a while. But yeah, the CFP for React Miami is done by the 13th. So yeah, I got less than a week. Oh, 1 second. Yeah, sorry, Abner. We mainly just have that no links allowed thing to prevent spammers, and you're not spamming, so you're good. But yeah, so I believe it is. Yeah, reactmiami.com. Are you from Miami or Florida? Oh, there you go, JWF. Nice. Most of the React Conf topics are basic or well known nowadays for the more experienced people. Maybe. Do they have any examples of last year's talks? I mean, a big part of it is the opening party and the after party, because it's a 2-day conference. Trying to see. From Montreal, flights are cheap. Nice. Yeah, yeah, like there are definitely some interesting talks. I wish there was a list of like last year's talks or something, like as an example. Ah, here we go. So this will work. Stop lying to your users. Use WAT. Awesome. Okay, that sounds cool. Um, right, a history of React, which could be interesting. Like a bunch of these are like almost case studies, like the one from Brian Douglas here. There will probably be a big one about the compiler. Yes, a lot of them are just like case studies of like things that people built, which is kind of fun. Yeah, yeah, the parties are like the main part. That's like the most important part, I think. Right? Background jobs, building with ingest. Yeah, some of them are like product pitches, but there's still like value into understanding like how you might use someone's product, like ingest. Oh no, should be fun. There's another one that's good that's a little more like general, and that is render ATL. That one also has like a really good party. And right now, render ATL tickets are cheap, right? So they're like half off right now. And yeah, the block party is quite fun. Yeah, this one was great. Kelsey Hightower had an amazing talk. Like his was really good. So yeah, I'd say check out Render ATL as well, just in case. Just another option. It's a little more like broadly focused, so it's not just React stuff. Like it's not even JavaScript focused. Like you can talk about anything really. Eric Wendell, cool. Oh, you know him? Nice. Trash Dev's great. How many people actually know Trash Dev's real name? I think that's actually kind of funny. Oh, no, no, it's fine. We've already gotten a bunch of work done. And the whole goal is not to stress about getting a bunch of stuff done, right? The work will happen. Yeah, so for a balance, it'll be 0 pretty much no matter what, and that's okay. So then we want to do the same thing for a quota, and it would have basically the same logic. Hey, what's up, Flip? What are you up to today? Death by chatter. What is that? What's up, Cheese? How you doing? We'll at least look at it real quick. "2D platformer rage game made by a YouTuber. Directly affected by Twitch chat. Oh, that's cool. That's funny. Oh, that's kind of cool. I like that. Cheese is fine. Cheese is just all right with me. Cheese is just all right. Oh, yeah. Yes, that was a Doobie Brothers reference. Um, Wait, what's up, JWeth? I'm not sure what words you sent. They didn't even make it in. Oh, are there words? Sorry, I thought I read that as are these words. You mean like the chat overlay? Yeah, there's definitely some like banned words that, they're like offensive. We also kind of like don't allow people to do links until they've like proven themselves. And a lot of my bot commands don't get shown on screen. But yeah, this seems cool. Yep, I am a software dev. Yes, web things. It's just something you keep doing and you get better at as you do it. But yeah, welcome, Raiders. The thing I am building is called Waltr. It's basically a software as a service for software as a service. Way for, some other businesses to manage their balances or quotas for things that they want to charge people money for. Sure. I'll just mention that would be kind of a pain in the ass to maintain, because you're not going to remember what it stands for later. Amount. Yep, no worries, cheese. Have a good one. Oh, I messed up on the response here. I'm a little surprised we didn't have an issue with that over here. Oh, I know why we didn't have an issue with that. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so we generated that endpoint. Let's clean up some of these things that we don't need. Okay, cool. So we got those endpoints. So what we need to do now is the idea of an upsert, and we need to modify the balance as we go. Yeah, so we probably do want to start thinking about how the resets and stuff are going to work. We'll do that here in a bit because we still have like way more to do to be able to get the entire database like running. So what I'll do is we'll save what we've done. Okay, so we've done that part. If we do pnpm dev, we see just a whole bunch of stuff that is currently broken. And a lot of it ends up being business setting focused. Hold on, let's go to the top. So a lot of it's in our fixtures. Let's start from the top. Okay, so accounts. Oh, wait, what's going on over here? Interesting. Okay, so in accounts get, What is transaction being used for? Oh, and I see. Okay, so transactions, payments, adjustments, they don't make any sense here. Okay, so I may not have a response type for that. So we'll have to go fix that. Do I have any others that don't start with a get? All right. What was that quote from? You're breathtaking. Keanu Reeves, that's right. Took me a second. Okay, so that ends up being right there. Oh, I didn't actually want it to update. Hold on, let me clear. Okay, here we go. Okay, so yeah, account stats. That was the end of the album. Man, that was a good long one, too. That was nice. Yeah, and I think this stats endpoint may just go away. Yeah, I think all the stat stuff really needs to be like rethought. Damn it. I keep forgetting to kill it again. Okay, hold on. We're gonna clear the buffer. There we go. All right, so we killed it that time. Now it's not going to lose our place. All right, so auth MFA. Yes, that no longer comes from there. It comes from a different place. Okay. So then the next one is balances, payments, stats. Come on, get that singing out of my ear. There we go. All right, so now transactions stats. Okay, so we did those two. Oh, and I didn't fill this one in. Okay, so that needs to be. I don't. Yeah, I think this is actually incorrect. Right, because we're not going to have so many like balance entities per business that searching is going to be important. Right, like how many balance types do we think anyone will have? It'll probably just be a handful, right? I really doubt it'll ever get bigger than like two or three. Right, so then get all quotas. Okay, so it's right after get account balance. So then we would put it right after get account quota, and it looks like we just don't have that. All right, so then, yeah, the endpoint we were doing that in is balances get all. Ooh, this song's good. I like this one. All right, so now businesses create. Yeah, business settings no longer exists. And yeah, creating API keys. Yep. Yeah, we're gonna have to like really refactor how our API key system works. Okay, so we fixed it there. Fixtures is gonna have a bunch of stuff to fix. We may just ignore fixtures for now. Because I know we're gonna have to like modify that anyway. Yeah, the reconciliation stuff too. All right, so what is in shared usage? Okay, now hold on. Bill for usage. Where is this function even used? Got it. Yes, we're using it in fixtures and we're also using it in our reconciliation scripts. Yeah, we'll let that sit for now. But yeah, the balance value we'll have to think about. Like, this is no longer going to be on the accounts table. Okay, so yeah, if I clear the buffer and we go back and look at it, I'm pretty sure we only have issues now in fixtures and reconciliation. And technically the shared usage function, which is the same thing. Yep. Okay, so now this part gets more complicated for sure. Because, yep, we need to get our fixtures working so that we can create data and use it in our dashboard while doing our initial dev. And what's up, Renegade? How you doing? And yeah, this reconciliation is just for the usage intervals. So that's only going to be for balances. Thanks, Sargnek. And hey, what's up, Dylan? Welcome back. Wait, is that John Pham? Maybe. Oh, there's Jacob in the background. Oh, that's funny. I've never actually looked closely at this photo. Is that Adam.dev too? Fix your posture, Adam. That's the proper way to sit in Miami. It's a local custom. Gotcha. Touche. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. I could do a talk about state management. Yeah. What else are they looking for? So conference talks are 22 minutes in length. I tend to use Yotai. Yeah, yeah, React Query is really nice. I haven't used it enough though. But I would probably mention React Query in a talk about state management. Yeah, I think a talk about state management would be good. I'll have to think about that. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of proxy based state management. I find proxies add a little too much like rigmarole to the debugging process. And it's too easy to subscribe to to create a use effect based on the proxy rather than like the value that it stores. So you can like it's super annoying. I'm sure you could fix it with a linter. But I use Yotai. What do you mean, Khalid? Like, what about the UI of the project? Like, we'll be working on it here soon. But we need to get all of these errors fixed in our build process. Otherwise, we can't even launch the server. And we need the server launch to actually start building out the UI for it. Being able to subscribe to changes. Right? So triggering a re-render when something updates is very simple with a proxy because the proxy has a way of hooking into the setters and getters. Now, I believe there is some other mechanism, right? Like object.observe or something. Yeah, object.observe is deprecated, right? So proxies are basically the evolution of object.observe. So you wouldn't really like, there's basically no other process for it. Proxies are the way to subscribe to changes to an object. Pretty much every signals implementation is implemented with proxies. So in Solid and MobX and even Angular, I believe, they're all just proxies. Yeah, with Redux and basically anything that isn't a proxy, you have to wire up your own mechanism for triggering state changes, right? For triggering a re-render. But because proxies are built into the browsers, those are individually like optimizable, like at the browser level, so you don't have to worry about optimizing it yourself. I'm curious about their selection process. Hold on, let's look at this real quick. So they get hundreds of applications, but only have about 24 speaker slots. So yeah, some great talks are going to get missed. I'm going to increase my odds by submitting like 3 of them. You kind of don't want to do more than that. So basically, yeah, first question is this relevant to a React developer? If the attendee of a talk does not use a given product or become a customer, will this still inform or inspire them? That's a good point. Right, so you can still do like a product pitch as long as there's still value to it. So that makes sense. Is it something new or novel? If not, is it a fresh perspective? Try as hard as you can to put yourself in the seat of the attendee. Here is the persona of the majority of React Miami attendees that this person keeps in mind. So a dev is sent on behalf of their employer to bring back value to the business. This can be new connections, this can be new learnings they can implement, or something else. Right? They maybe get approved to go to 1 conference a year, so the one they choose is a big deal. So what kind of win will your talk provide to this person? What will they bring back to work that will make attending the conference worth it? So if you're split between 2 ideas, you can submit them all. 1 or 2 thoughtful submissions goes further than 5. So yeah, I'm going to do 3. I've got one that could be get cracking focused about the flow to TypeScript stuff. I think I'll do one about state management. And I got to think about a 3rd one. I feel like there could be a good one about like class variance authority. And like design systems and maybe how ShadCN is built out. Oh. So yeah, brace yourselves. Welcome everyone. Such a surprise. I was lurking. It's good to see you streaming. How'd the Advent of Code stuff go? I know you did 1 vote. Yeah. I didn't want to like influence the raid with shouting out my sub. Yeah, welcome everyone. How you doing? But yeah, I saw you got at least one of them first try, right? Like, I didn't actually see like the vote itself, but I saw you like put the vote up, and then I saw that gesture. You got them all first try? That's amazing. Oh, well done. So real quick, we're gonna shout out Coding Garden. And yeah, CJ, I'm currently looking at React Miami. The CFP is open still until the 13th. Wasn't sure if you were aware of that. Definitely worth submitting something to if you got something you want to talk about. There's also Render ATL, and that one is done on the 16th. so just figured I'd let you know. And it was cool to see you at Syntax might make an appearance again at React Miami. Awesome, nice. Yeah, it was cool to see you again at React Summit. That was great. Yeah, the interesting thing about render ATL is you only get one submission, so you got to like really make it count. Whereas, React Miami, you can submit as many as you want. They do mention that 1 or 2 like really good submissions is better than 5 generic ones. And we were just looking at a tweet from one of the organizers about like what they look for in their criteria for React Miami, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I was bummed I didn't get to go to the after party at React Summit and like JS Nation, right? So basically, I was there. I got to go to the speaker dinner for like a half hour or so, and then I went to the terminal.shop thing, and then at 5 a.m. the next day, I flew out to Atlanta for connect.tech because I had made a mistake and booked too many events too soon, like too close together. And I had thought that I told Connect Tech that I couldn't make it, but I didn't. So yeah, I didn't want to flake. But yeah, no worries. You got to get going. Yeah, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for the raid. Welcome, everybody. How y'all doing today? So yeah, we were looking at a few of these. And yeah, enjoy your food. Yep, have a good one. We'll see you again soon. And yeah, good work on the Advent of Code stuff. Yeah. So for everyone joining from the raid, the thing we're currently working on is a thing called Waltr. And nice, Murdoch. Hell yeah. Yeah, you're down in that area? Cool. I plan on going to render ATL even if my talk doesn't get accepted, because they do have the idea of like an influencer ticket, which could be kind of fun. All right, so I got to go there last year on an influencer ticket. Still means I had to pay for like the flight and the hotel out of my own pocket, but yeah, that was cool. But yeah, bye for reals. No worries. So yeah, for everyone joining, I am building this thing called Waltr, and it is about balance and quota management for software as a service, right? So it's a software as a service for software as a service to use. The main idea is just imagine you want to build a game, and you want to have an internal currency for that game. You would need to manage that currency. You would need to deduct from it when people make, purchases in your store or whatever. And the idea is maybe that you want people to buy $20 worth of your coins, but you want to encourage them to do it in a lump sum, because if they were to just buy things $1 at a time, you're paying way more in fees to various providers, right? With Stripe, it's like 25 cents plus 2.5% or something like that. So you can encourage people to spend a larger amount by giving them extra credits or something, very similar to how Madden and a whole bunch of games do it. Like League of Legends, they have 2 currencies actually. One is one that you can buy with money, and the other is one that you earn for buying champs and stuff like that, just by playing the game. So just being able to manage those kind of balances is my main goal here, because I kind of want to do the same thing for a bunch of my other projects. I don't want to have to build that from scratch every single time. So I'm building out a software as a service that I think other businesses could use, but at the bare minimum, I can use it. The part that we're on right now, besides looking at what we might propose as talks to React Miami, is we currently have a bunch of errors because I did a pivot with the project, right? At one point, there was just a single balance for a business, which means we couldn't support League of Legends, right? Because they have 2 types of currency. We also added a thing called quotas, because maybe we could support something like, if you want to spin up your own Vercel and charge people for requests or bandwidth or things like that, we can manage a quota of that thing. The main difference between a quota and a balance is that a quota would reset at a certain time. A balance could have credits fall off after like a year of purchasing them, kind of like how OpenAI works. But the main idea is that, a quota would reset after some interval. So maybe like X requests per day or X requests per month or something. You might want to just reset that for your users. So they're really like a separate entity. And you may have multiple different types of balances. So yeah, I have these like fixtures, which is just like, mock data that I would spin up the server with so that I can do my front end dev with it and not have to like click through a bunch of forms to create things. I can just script out creating users and accounts and balances and blah, blah, blah. My fixtures have not been updated with the current pivot in mind. There's also the business, like the reconciliation scripts. So when I described a balance, also think about how maybe DigitalOcean works. So with DigitalOcean, you would spend $20 and get $20 worth of credits on DigitalOcean. If you spin up a droplet for $5 a month and then destroy it after an hour, you only want to bill someone for that 1 hour, right? So that is like the usage-based billing approach as well, and I want to be able to support that business too. So if you wanted to spin up your own hosting company, there's a bunch of like ways that you could do that with what I'm trying to build out. But my billing reconciliation script for usage-based billing also is not written currently with the idea of like multiple types of balances or multiple types of quotas. So we've got some pivoting to do. But yeah, recently we have added like a good 20 plus endpoints to the project. So we're definitely like getting there on this this pivot, which is nice. So then, yeah, let me, I just wanted to give you all that context. And again, man, thanks CJ for the raid. Appreciate you. So yeah, you're brand new to coding. What language would I recommend to focus on? What's going to future-proof you? There's no such thing as future-proofing yourself, right? Depending on what you want to build, that will often determine what language you want to learn, use. As you get better as a dev, learning a new language should be really easy. So just pick one, right? Try and figure out what you want to build, what kind of thing you want to make, and then that will determine your language for you in many cases. If you want to build web apps, your front end is going to be JavaScript. HTML, JavaScript, and CSS. So you might want to start there. If you want to build games, depends on what framework you want to use. The biggest thing I want to point out is that to learn a new language can be actually really easy if you take something you've built in one language and rebuild it in another. So let me show you a project I've done that with. It is proficientim.apropont.com. Real quick, just about what it is if I want to, do like food and, right, make an app, right, we're going to go look up a synonym for the word food, and we're going to prefix it with the word get, and we're going to try and find domain names based upon synonyms for that. So get dietary, right, get livery. And, we can also just get rid of the prefix and see if any of those .coms are available. Looks like only one synonym for the word food is available. So that's why a prefix and a suffix are important, right? So food app. Right? And then, yeah, you get more options. So basically, very simple app. It only has 2 endpoints, right? One for searching for synonyms and another for doing a whois to see if a domain is registered. So it's a very simple backend with 2 endpoints, but it has it has 2 third-party APIs it needs to hit. One is dictionaryapi.com, which is an XML API, and then there is WordNick, which is a JSON API. So I need to be able to parse XML and JSON in whatever language. I need to build a REST API so I can, do the the post endpoints or a get endpoint, that kind of thing, right? I need to store the results so that I can cache some of this stuff so I'm not overloading those APIs, so I have to connect to Redis. So is there a good driver for that? And there's just a bunch of other things that we got to check the boxes for, of just pretty much every backend API is going to need to do that stuff. So I built the original API in Node.js, and that's actually what we were just hitting just now. But I have rebuilt the API In Rust, Go, and Elixir. That was how I learned those languages like 8 years ago. The reason I think being able to build something you've already built in a new language is you're no longer figuring out what you want to do. You just got to figure out how you do it. So often when you're building something from scratch, brand new, you have to figure out what it needs to do, as well as if you're learning a new language while doing it, you got to figure out how you do that in that language. Instead, you can cut out the what part and just figure out the how. And that's like a quicker way to learn a language itself, because the what's already figured out. I hope that helped. Ooh, ediblesapp.com. Ooh, that's not a bad one, actually. Dietary.app.com. It might be fun to... It might be fun to, like, revisit this and get, like, an LLM involved. And then once we have the LLM, like, we could say, take some of these words and, like, Web 2.0ify them, right? So, like, if it ends with an ER, just take off the E. So then it's like, you know, food-er, right? That kind of thing. We could have an LLM get creative with misspellings that are actually kind of like an interesting app name. That could be good. I kind of like that idea. Would I say that CSS gets easier? Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it just takes practice. Like, what parts are you currently having issues with? Is it like Flexbox or Grid? Is specificity getting to you? Flexbox. So there's a fun game to practice Flexbox, actually. So Flexbox Froggy might be a fun way to practice. And then there's another that's like, I think Flexbox Zombies? Yeah, Flexbox Zombies. So those could be some fun ways to practice, but really you just got to keep building stuff. So I would say, you know, try and like find some layout and try and recreate it. I would say the most common layout that you're probably going to want to try and practice. Let's see. Let me just go to TL Draw. Let's get it. Dark mode? How do I do that? I don't know. I guess it's fine. So basically, this is a fun layout to try and build. So you got your page here. You're going to have a header at the top, right? Then you're going to have a sidebar. And often you'll want to have like a footer at the bottom, right? Building this layout with content that doesn't necessarily fill the entire thing, making sure that this is down at the bottom, this stays up at the top as you scroll, right? Like the content scrolls, but the sidebar, the footer, and the header are static, or maybe the footer is just down at the bottom of the page, but when it's not tall enough, it's, you know, all the way at the bottom anyway. Making the sidebar individually scrollable. Like a bunch of this, like this layout is probably the most common dashboard layout for applications in general. And being able to make this is something you're going to do a lot. And yeah, there's also like often in this page, there's a sidebar that, is either sticky or might scroll with the content, right? So, looking at how some of those sites are made, you may want to like just try and mimic something like the Astro dot build, I think. Right? So like maybe try building out the documentation. Now there's good frameworks that can build this for you, but this is at least still like good practice. So being able to like mimic this layout. So try and find layouts and try and recreate them yourself as just like practice. That would be my recommendation. But also just, fiddle with the games like Flexbox Zombies or Flexbox Froggy. All right, and then real quick, let me make sure I'm not missing anything else. You made a vendor app for a game, Express, Golang, PHP. Cool. It's just also overwhelming. So, I mean, the thing, Frags, is it's never going to be easy. Right? Like, every single person out there struggles with something in programming. You just get better at it, or you find the patterns to find the answers quicker when you run into a problem. Every single person out there experiences imposter syndrome. If you find that you're not experiencing imposter syndrome about something when you do it, you're probably messing up. I don't trust anyone that doesn't experience imposter syndrome. Because not everybody can know everything. Even the Primogen didn't even know about git commit -- amend until like a couple years ago, It's not a big deal. Like, you can only know so much. The key is being curious and staying curious. And then, yeah, as far as CSS, yeah, the same company, Mastery.games, they also have Grid Critters. And they also have one for learning service workers as well. And then there's also CSS Grid Garden. So this one is similar to Flexbox Froggy. So yeah, I would say check out the Mastery.games site and also check out Flexbox Froggy and CSS Grid Garden. I am really bad with CSS Grid. I don't actually have that many use cases for it personally. I use Flexbox all the time. I use Grid very rarely, so I have to go look it up every time I use it. And hold on one second. Okay, no. Yeah, I see that. And let me read the whole thing. Oh, I really appreciate that. Yeah. Oh, that's heartfelt, man. Let me just, yep. Oh, yeah, for sure, man. Yep. Yeah, welcome back. Mr. Elfman. That's a great joke right there. That is a really great joke. Oh, oh, that's good. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Is it okay if I tweet that? I really want to tweet that. I'll give you credit and everything. Okay, cool. You think you broke Proficient? What did you do? Yeah, it may be getting throttled at like the who is. Oh, interesting. So it's not even failing, it's just taking a really long time. Oh, it came back. Looks like it came back as an error, though. Nope, still pending. So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna tweet this for sure. Let me just head to Buffer and do it. And yeah, person we unbanned. I really appreciate you. Like that was a really nice. That was a really nice unban request. And I'll say I definitely deserve at least half of the blame for, you know, just the entire situation. So, yeah, thank you. Okay, there we go. Yeah, absolute banger there, Mr. Elfman. It's going great there, Code Drift. How about you? We are currently looking at the next thing that we got to work on, and that is our fixtures for being able to do front end dev with mock data, and also our reconcile or like reconciliation like functions, which are basically like the usage based billing thing. But yeah, how's your weekend going? Doing better now? You foolishly thought upgrading your audio drivers was a 30-minute journey? Yeah, pretty rare. And yeah, usage-based billing. Yep. Yeah, like code drift. I think you've been here while we were talking about Waltr and what it does. But yeah, basically any software as a service typically has some kind of like quota system, right? So yeah, we're building Waltr to help businesses manage quotas and balances. So just imagine like games like League of Legends, there's two internal currencies, the blue crystals and the red crystals. And, you can buy red crystals, but blue crystals get earned. But managing those balances and deducting from them when you make a purchase from either of the marketplaces, that's basically what we're building out as well. And then the usage-based billing is going to follow basically like the DigitalOcean model. Yeah. So I'm not tackling the rate limit thing yet. It may be something I want to do eventually though. There is a service R limit, which definitely seems useful, but I just think it's like a slightly different problem to solve. They end up caring about the same source of truth. To a degree, I would say, right? Like they care about the same like entity, such as like requests or like bandwidth or things like that. But yeah, like the rate limit itself is just a different like kind of quota or whatever, right? So yeah, I'm not planning on tackling rate limiting at the moment. I do think there could be the idea of like this company buying my company being an exit. I know this guy is bootstrapped though, rather than VC funded. But yeah, I don't know. Just thinking out loud. I think Unkey is pivoting to some rate limiting stuff too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Unkey is actually like tackling our problem as well, but maybe not quite the same way. Mosif? I've never heard of Mosif. Interesting. Okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think there's definitely some overlap. I do feel like what I'm doing is a little broader, but maybe not. Right? Like as I try and find product market fit, I bet the overlap would be a lot higher. Never even heard of Mosif. So hold on. 15 mil in funding. So they got 12 mil 3 years ago. Wow, depending on their size, I bet they're running out of runway. Unless they're like fully profitable. Interesting. Okay. So Unkey currently has 1.6. Interesting. So yeah, they're not even like some of the bigger VC funds. Like I haven't heard of Essence before. They're based out of Seattle. Tim who? Tim Apple? Oh, Timothy Chen. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with Tim. Okay. Senior VP of Engineering at Cosmos. Interesting. Well, yeah, this is definitely going over in the archive. Never sell to SREs. Oh, interesting. Yeah, we had someone on gaming stream the other day, Acorn. I don't know if you're familiar with her stream. Uh, she said SRE stands for Sleepless Reliability Engineer, which is really good. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah, that's a good point. I do think it's interesting though. Like Datadog is massive. It's basically an SRE tool. But maybe that's part of the problem, right? Like trying to compete with Datadog and stuff. Yeah, yeah, like the Datadog like vertical is massive, right? I mean, as long as it's not their money, it's fine. Now, my biggest experience with Datadog has been I was at an organization uh, where there was basically like a weekly like on call kind of like thing. Not weekly, but like each week someone was the on-call person, but it was basically like your L1 support. And that's just terrible. Like it was just a bad thing. We were a team of like 10 people, you know? Forcing your senior engineers to be L1 support is a really bad idea. You're just going to burn them out. Cardinality. Yeah, that's a lot of dollar signs there. Yeah, basically the manager who dictated, and that's really the best way to phrase that, who dictated that we should do that terrible on-call strategy was using something that he had taken from like his time at Microsoft or something. But basically it was just stressful. And yeah, I think it burned out at least 3 of the senior engineers on the team. One of them left. I ended up leaving for a different reason. Like, basically, they didn't want me streaming during business hours. They wanted a butt in seat from 9 to 5. And then another person ended up leaving too. But then once the bad manager was gone, one of the people came back. What was the strategy for on call? You're just your L1 support. So any issue, even though they were pretty much all back end issues, they had me, the front end guy, trying to like trace things down. This was also the company that had an individual Lambda, or sorry, no, an individual repo for every Lambda. So they had like 60 plus repos for the back end. And then the common library between them, when it had to get updated, they had to schedule Saturday merge parties to like update the Lambdas. Just really, really bad management. Perhaps the managers directors should be on the on-call rotation for strategic insights. Yeah. Honestly, yeah. The lower level manager ended up having to do that, but the manager that implemented this thing didn't, which was BS. The project managers never had to do it. It was just engineering. And dude, yeah, making the front end dev comb through Datadog when there's an error in the back end in one of these 60 different repos. Yeah, it was really bad. Just bad management. Dashboard UI party. That way it's at least a party. Yeah. Yeah, because I was the front end guy, the only front end guy at the time. Uh, they had the Saturday merge party. I had to show up. I showed up and I was like, is there anything you guys actually want me to do? They were like, no, not really. So then I got to leave, which was nice. It was all remote, so that was nice, but I still had to wake up early on a Saturday because of it. Yeah, we almost did a sponsored stream with Datadog, but I feel like that was around the time like a bunch of layoffs happened. So I'm pretty sure like the contact I had that was gonna set that up, that reached out to me, it ended up falling through, and I'm not even sure they work there anymore. So, but I did get a free T-shirt, and it is a very soft T-shirt. But yeah, this is good to know. I really like that. I think I'm gonna end up needing a co-founder though that has some startup experience to really like pitch it. Yeah, that was a cool banner for sure. Oh, and I like this, right? So they got job postings for all of their portfolio companies too. The Quota integration in Apogee? I have not. I didn't realize it was a Google product. Yeah, I think it's interesting that like some of the existing companies like Apogee and Mosif or whatever, I think it's interesting that they're like entirely focused on monetizing APIs rather than just like more generalized like quotas. But it does really like narrow down their scope. So yeah, I may have too wide of a scope. Thought I was thinking of rocks. What do you mean by that, X Factor? You mean like when he did the Datadog thing? Now, basically, like he and I were reached out to at around the same time. He ended up doing or trying to schedule some event, right? And I think he did do that event, right? But yeah, like, oh, gotcha. As a possible co-founder, yeah. I mean, he's got a thing going already, and he's basically said that he'd only be in if I got funded, which means he's not really in. But I could probably rope him into like a fractional CEO kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, not sure. And yeah, he's already got a thing he's doing. He's doing like a podcast service thing. But yeah, it is interesting to me. So yeah, unkey. Oh, they're tackling rate limiting. That's smart. Yep. Yes, they're basically doing the API key monetization and like quota slash limit thing as well. Interesting. Yeah, yeah. If I wasn't so keen on making sure I'm like fully like bootstrapped, I would actually consider using it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put in a lot of thought on how I monetize as well. I haven't really considered what my monetization strategy is anymore. Can you self-host? I don't think it's open source. I don't think so. Serverless lists, right? No. Serverless servers. Serverless full. Oh, there's no docs. Interesting. It does look like it's open source. It's just not documented. Hmm. That I didn't know. Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to like yeah, because I'm using OpenAPI. Um, Generating SDKs is not gonna be too big a deal. So yeah, I'll have to fiddle with that some more. But really, like, even when I generate the SDKs, I'm probably gonna want to create like a wrapper over top of them, right? Like the main thing I think the SDKs are good for is types. All right. So yeah. Let's think about this. Makes sense, Mr. Demon Wolf. Yeah, I built my own MFA. And yeah, I refactored from email password login to magic links. Yeah, device revocation. I'm not doing that one yet. Yeah, I like the idea of magic links just because it's less passwords to memorize. Definitely better for the user, in my opinion. And realistically, a password reset is a magic link system anyway. So if you're going to do password reset and you're worried about someone's like email getting compromised, surprise, like, you've got the same problem with password reset too. So yeah, I just think it's better for the user not having a password that could even get leaked. You know, bam, easy. For transactional emails, I think in dev, I'm using either Mailgun or Mailjet. My plan is to either use Postmark or possibly SendGrid. Not a big fan of SES. I feel like, yeah, Resend is another option too. The main reason I like SendGrid is because they do like business verification, so like their deliverability is very high. Email addresses that get recycled by email providers like Fastmail. That's an interesting point. So yeah, I guess if you close your Fastmail account or stop paying them, someone else could actually register it. Yeah, that's tricky. Yeah, that's a good point. Still the same problem if you do email password though too, because password reset. So yeah, like it's not like you're eliminating that vector by doing email password. That's definitely a good point. Yeah, I like Fastmail because it's really nice for like you can have as many domains related to it as you want, which is really cool. And yeah, 2FA solves a lot of those problems too. Yep. Yeah, that's a great point. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, I remember with Hotmail you were able to create like 10 aliases, which was cool. But yeah, you weren't able to do like the wild card or whatever, right? But now you can. That's really awesome. Yeah, if you lose the domain, you lose the emails. Yep. Your primary got reassigned. Oh, yikes. Depends on the domain. But there's also maybe the problem, Mr. Demon Wolf, like if you use a domain like .rs or .io or some of the ones that could end up going away or some country controls them besides icon, then you got a huge problem on your hands. A .com is $10 a year. Pretty much never goes up. Yeah, .dev is what, like $20 a year? Oh, it's only 10, maybe 15. So Fastmail is a email hosting provider. The really nice part though is that you can associate domains with it and it's still just like the one account. So in a lot of services like Google or, a bunch of like email providers, you basically have to like you have to pay per domain basically. And I think with Fastmail it's like up to 50 or something like that. Looks like it might not even be limited. So you can have 100 domains associated to an Office 365 account? That's huge. I didn't know that. Yeah, for $5 a month, Fastmail is a pretty good deal. What does the Office 365 cost? $99 a year? That's not bad. Oh, 70 a year. Yeah, that's not bad at all. Oh, for business. Oh, here we go. $6 a month? That's not bad. Mailosaur is a decent SaaS for testing emails. Never heard of that one. Yeah, I definitely use a different provider for like dev and for like testing, just because I don't want to harm deliverability. Hmm. Mail trap, interesting. Interesting. And then yeah, mail trap. I haven't seen mail trap. Hmm. Yeah, some cool services that I didn't even know about. by Railsware. Not familiar with Railsware. Hmm. Hmm. Yeah, cool. Yeah, they're basically doing the model that I want to do with Whirligig Labs. Sweet. Yeah, Apropont looks like it's down. Yeah. Well, you broke it. You broke it. All right. So, yeah, and I'm wondering if it's just interesting. Yeah, so I'm doing a workspace for sure. Yeah, it's not that big a deal. And hey, what's up, Keegan? How you doing? Hold on. The reason Google Workspace accounts are treated a lot differently compared to normal Google accounts, mostly privacy features. Yeah, sure. But yeah, Keegan, we did some brainstorming on maybe some talks that I could propose for React Miami. I'm thinking I might try and do one about state management. I'm thinking I might try and do one about how at GitKraken we migrated from Flow to TypeScript. Oh, really? Bopology. There you go. That would be a good talk. Yeah, I almost want to save this Get Kraken one for a conference that doesn't pay for like travel and hotel room, because then I can get Kraken to cover it. So yeah, what are some other good ones? Like All Things Open? Yeah, I'm not sure if they cover travel. But yeah, All Things Open could be a good one. What are some of the other good ones? That conference? Damn, they are spendy. Hey, yeah, I got to meet Shive at KubeCon. That was awesome. Okay, so that conference, Wisconsin, looks like it happens in July-ish. I don't think they have a CFP up yet. Nope, not yet. Oh, you live in Wisconsin. Nice. Shive? I don't think he was. No, because when I talked to him at KubeCon, he mentioned that he wouldn't be able to make it to JS Nation because he had an on-site for work. No worries. Up to you there, Mr. Demon Wolf. But yeah, I think it could be cool. I don't know if I've probably driven through Wisconsin, but I've never been to Wisconsin. Near the border of Wisconsin and Illinois. Nice. When is the Texas one? Oh, looks like the Texas one is in. Hmm. Looks like it was January. If they're doing January, then the CFP would have had to have been done by now. I wonder if they're even doing it next year. Oh, Particle Man's so good. Yeah, Particle Man's amazing. Oh, and this is just for 2024. Okay. So yeah, it looks like yeah, 2025 isn't planned yet. Okay. If we look at last year, it was December 29th through March. Okay, so plenty of time there. Cool. Um, but yeah. Okay, so looks like we're gonna play some Path of Exile tonight with Acorn and Algo. PoE 2, by the way. Hopefully it's better with a group, because as a solo experience, it is punishing. So yeah, if you want to hang out and see us play that game, it's going to be over on that channel. We should probably figure out who we're going to go raid. So yeah, who's streaming right now? Looks like Low Level TV. We haven't had a chance to raid him in a while. He's been going for about an hour. Yeah, let's go raid him. So yeah, he's just doing a bunch of chatting, which is cool. But yeah, we can go say hi. Ed is playing Path of Exile 2. Is it good? I mean, it's good, but it is punishing, right? So yeah, I was getting bummed on it yesterday. I started out with the Witch. I'm not sure I like the mechanics as much. Then I switched over to the Monk. And yeah, both just like some of the bosses are tough. Like it's just non-stop dodge rolling. So that's a little annoying. But yeah, I just need to get better, right? Yeah, I just think the Witch is like really squishy. Like just like optimizing for the summons really does put you at like a weaker standpoint. So yeah, maybe the sorcerer or sorceress or whatever is better. But yeah, so we're gonna go raid into Low Level TV. Everyone over on YouTube, thank you all for hanging out. Appreciate you. I think tomorrow, I'm not 100% certain if I'll be streaming tomorrow or not. I could, or I may treat it as like a work day and do some like video recording for Get Kraken. I'm not sure. We'll see. People with like like keep an eye on the announcements channel in Discord, and that's the way you can know if I'm going live. So yep, later YouTube. Thank you for watching.